Today, we're going to talk about the different ways that people take care of others. This most strongly describes parenting styles, but it can also be the way we take care of other important people in our lives. First, we will learn about the types of emotional responses we may have when we're caregiving. Then, we will talk about the style of caregiving we may use. Keep in mind that while you may identify with one of these strongly, you may also switch between different styles depending on the situation or the person that you're taking care of. These styles are not set in stone, and it is possible to learn to be more adaptive in your style. The first type of emotional responder you may be is the jellyfish. This person feels a lot of emotion and will often convey too much emotion to others. When they are dealing with the emotions of others, they have difficulty keeping their own emotions in check. This means that they can become easily distressed in response to a loved one's distress. Their emotions tend to overflow and get the best of them in situations. It can be really hard to help someone else when you are overcome yourself. The other end of the spectrum for emotional responding is the ostrich. This style of responder avoids seeing, thinking, or dealing with emotions. They feel very uncomfortable dealing with someone's emotions, and likely with their own as well. They find emotions chaotic and confusing. They would rather put their head in the sand and avoid dealing with emotions. They're much more comfortable with providing only practical strategies to problems instead of dealing with the emotions themselves. If we think of the jellyfish and the ostrich on either end of the spectrum of emotional responses, the middle of that spectrum is the St. Bernard. This style of person responds with calmness, warmth, and compassion. They respond in a consistent manner that allows their loved one to feel like they can be open and honest about their emotions. They validate the feelings of others, even if they don't agree with them. The St. Bernard style is one that we strive for, but it's important to note that it's okay to not respond this way every time. There are going to be situations where we fall more towards one side of the spectrum or the other and struggle to respond in a calm or compassionate manner. We are human, and no one is expected to get things right every time. The second set of animal metaphors are the caregiving styles. On one end of the spectrum, we have the kangaroo, which seeks to protect their loved one from all pain and challenge in life. They want to prevent their loved one from getting hurt and work really hard to make sure everything is right. Picture them keeping them in their pouch to keep them safe. The issue they run into, though, is that their loved one does not learn how to cope with situations without them. They're protected, but they don't learn how to deal with the daily struggles. The other end of the spectrum is the rhinoceros. This type of caregiver tries to persuade or convince someone through argument and confrontation. They charge into a situation and try to use logic as a way to get people to change. The downside is that even if their loved one does listen to them and change, they have not developed the confidence to do so on their own and will either shy away from confrontation or become confrontational themselves. The goal when it comes to caregiving styles is the dolphin. This person provides gentle guidance, security, and safety. They don't overmanage their loved ones, but they will take the lead when needed to assist or model behavior. The dolphin offers caring and control. Think of this as swimming beside them or behind them to provide them with support when they need it. You're helping them to build trust and confidence. Again, just like the last set of animals, we're not always in the middle all the time. Sometimes we get it wrong, and sometimes we get it right, and that's okay. If this conversation made you think about changes that you would like to make to your caregiving style or emotional responses, perhaps having support with this could be helpful. These styles can be really important if you're supporting a youth that is a super feeler, like we talked about last week. Having support to aim for the center of these spectrums can be really helpful in parenting a teenager. Starting in February, Victoria will be starting a new round of Teen Talk Group. Check back in the next few weeks for more videos on the ways that this group can be helpful and for more details.